Hello, my name's Joe, and what we're going to be looking at today is how to create static mesh foliage to help create more efficient scenes when painting things like forest, grass, etc. inside of Unreal Engine 5. If you find these useful, please do like, subscribe and hit that bell, as it really helps me out. So here we go. Right, so when using Unreal Engine 4, 5, you've got the foliage tools. Now if we hold Shift and then I believe it's 3, yep, Shift 3, that brings us to the foliage painting tools. And what this allows us to do is just, say, paint trees or grass or whatever we want to do here. Now, one of the sort of first things you learn with Unreal is basically you just literally can pretty much drag any static mesh into here, whether it's a house, a tree, a cat, whatever, as long as you're not going to be interacting with it in a sense that cutting it down or blowing it up, things like that. So one of the first things to say, literally, is you'll get a foliage pack, and quite often you'll have the static mesh, and you drag the static mesh into the window here. Then what this allows us to do is we can literally just go in here and paint blocks of trees here. We've also got inside each one that's put in here, we've got like how much do we want it to like the aggressiveness of the paint, the density of the foliage. Do you just want like one tree put down or 100 trees put down? This is the radius. So this allows us to say, well, we don't want them to appear within a certain radius of each other, because otherwise you just get tons of clumping. So you can see here they're not really painting within a certain distance of each other. Now, that's all great. We've got all size, culling, shadows, everything in here. But what can happen with this is that if you're dotting between, say, different levels, but say you've set up the perfect tree spacing, clumping, everything, and then you move to another level and you think, oh, I forgot what that is, I've got to go back here, I've got to go back to the other level, I've got to go to the foliage here, I've got to remember all these settings. It's just time consuming. Sure, I'm sure we've all done it. I know I certainly have. And you sit there and what could essentially be a 2-minute job ends up can be 20-30 minutes, and it's becomes a huge thing depending on how much foliage you've got here. So this is where basically what we'll do is we'll get rid of that, and I'm just going to go Shift 1 to get us back into landscape. So this is where static mesh foliage comes in. So what this allows us to do is basically create a foliage preset. So this allows us to set up our distance that we want it to be in, the height difference, so we want some to be small, some to be high, things like that, the culling distance, and it's all kept within a preset that can then be dragged into any level we want, and we know it's instantly going to be the same as what we've got in the other level. So it's incredibly handy to get this, to use this, because it can save you so much time. So what we'll do here is we'll right click in the content browser, go to Foliage, Static Mesh Foliage, and I use the prefix SMF just so when I'm looking down from it I can see it. Now I'm going to name it Tree. Now when we open this, it brings us this window here, and we can just drop our mesh in here. So in this case it's the tree, and we drop it in there. We press save. So now what we can do is if we go back to our main viewport and hold Shift 3 again to get to our foliage, we can drag the static mesh foliage tree into here. So now when we enable it by clicking the little ticky box here, we'll be able to paint on it, but we've got back to that same problem that it's just crazy. We've got too many trees here. What we can do is we can start customizing all of this. Now, I'm not going to go through every single thing here because it would just take too long. It's all in the documentation. This is just literally how to get you started within this. So what we want to look at first of all is, say, the radius. This is the distance from each tree. And when we hit save, what that should do is we can ignore that. Sorry, that's for the procedural element of this. We're going to be just looking at hand painting. So we'll just leave that as it is, and we'll go save. And what we can do here is just close this window. Is that basically we can go to these sections, click on our SMF tree that we've created, and we can just basically customize these settings so that we can say that, well, we want our radius of the trees to be 700. So that means as we paint them, they won't be clumped together as much. We can set a height difference. We'll just do something crazy here, so we can see here we're getting like lots of different heights here. Maybe knock that back a bit, it's a bit too crazy. We've got things like down here, you can set the sort of offset. So if we wanted to say the trees, say for instance, to be in the ground a bit, you'll see here that they actually poke under. Sometimes you need to do that to, you might have like roots on a tree that you need to just bury in the ground a little bit to make it obviously look a bit more realistic, but we won't look at that. And we can set the angles of the trees, you know, if you want them leant over a bit, things like that. We can set the cull distance, so we'll say 6,000. So this is the distance that the camera can see it. You know, so obviously things like trees you have to be careful with because you don't want them just suddenly popping in, but grass, bushes, things like that. And you've got things like shadows. But what this basically allows us to do is that when we've edited this, so we can see here the radius is 700, we've got our height set here, and this, that, and the other, and we can paint it. What we can do now is if when we delete that and just press save on our SMF here, drag it in, what will happen is those settings are still there. So that means that we can still carry on painting exactly as we had before, but it means that we can then move to another map and have those exact same settings saved, so that we know that the tree spacing is going to be correct, that the bush, the culling, everything's going to be correct, and it's obviously saves a lot of time when creating big scenes, whether that's just individual levels or you know, you could be creating a huge Witcher style map here, you know, where it's, you know, and you need all of these things to pull in. So these are essentially your presets. So you could have different variations of these trees. You could have like redwoods that will give only spawn, you know, every other 1,000 pixels or whatever it is, their distance, and radius, sorry, between each other and things like that. So you can literally drag them in, they're all there ready for you to use. So this is an incredibly useful tool, because this can also later on, I have done another tutorial on procedural foliage. You can actually use all of this for procedural foliage too, which allows you to generate foliage very quickly and efficiently. So yeah, hopefully this helped, and hopefully it's made sense, but this is very useful for when you're getting serious about creating scenes and really would need the help, sort of, to anything you can to help speed up development when you're doing it. So hopefully this helped, and cheers!